Hey guys, Big Paul here. Today I got another one for you. This is on progressive overload methods. Some neat stuff I saw that Dr. Brad Schoenfeld posted on his Instagram page. It's from an excerpt from a book that he wrote with Brett Contreras. So before we dig into this, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of people watching, not that many people subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you have questions or comments about this specific topic, put them in the comment section below. I might even add them to a future Q&A. And if you want to get in contact with me, my contact information is in the description. I am on Instagram at Paul K. Barnett, and you can also shoot me an email at bigp3rd@gmail.com. So I highly suggest giving both Brad Schoenfeld and Brett Contreras a follow on Instagram. They're both very, very sharp dudes when it comes to training. I know I've been talking a lot about PEDs, but really training is the stuff that fascinates me the most. Training and diet, honestly, PEDs is probably kind of third on my totem pole because there's only so much you can do with them, to be honest with you. If you're not training and you're not eating right, the PEDs don't fucking matter. People don't want to hear that shit. But anyway, this is about the methods of progressive overload. I think a lot of gym bros have a very narrow view of progressive overload. They just see it as adding more weight to the bar. And there are many more. I know I've talked about this before in previous videos, but Dr. Brad Schoenfeld and Brett Contreras did a more concise breakdown of it than what I have done. But and I pointed this out before. There are many attributes to progressive overload, and this breaks it out really simple. And I like the way this is done. So intensity of load, so more weight for the same number of reps is progressive overload. Intensity of effort, same load or at times the same reps with lower RPE. That is more intensity. So you take it closer to failure. Volume, more sets with the same load. That is progressive overload. So if you're doing bench press, you do 2 sets of 135 for 10 reps, and then instead you do 4 sets of 135 for 10 reps. That is overload. Range of motion, increased range of motion with the same load for the same reps. This is another one that guys don't think about. I see all these dudes in the gym doing partial reps on shit, partial reps on biceps, and I'm like, you could be using less weight, putting less stress on your joints, and you would probably be stimulating the muscle more. That is progressive overload, using a fuller range of motion with the same weight. Form, improved technique. This goes into that category as well. Your technique has gotten better. And one of the things we talk about in bodybuilding is making the weight harder to lift. Changing angles, manipulating range of motion, looking at various things to make the weight harder to lift, to place more load on the muscle you are trying to work. I'll give you an example. Hack squats. I see dudes loading plates up on hack squats and leg presses all the fucking time, but then they only go down halfway, 40% of the way. They don't, so if you dropped your ass to grass, that is way more load than what you were doing before. Or if you just progressively get a little bit deeper with the same weight, that is progressive overload. Mind-muscle connection. That is another way to overload a muscle. We talk about this frequently. Guys, don't think about it. Learning how to squeeze that muscle. Learning how to make it contract more. Learning how to activate it on a given exercise. I see a lot of dudes slinging heavy weight around on back exercises and rows, and they're not activating their back at all. That's probably the most common area where I see that. You don't see many guys in the gym with big backs. And I have a pretty big back, I think. And I see dudes using way less weight or way more weight than I do and getting less out of it than I do. And it's because they are not activating anything in their back. They're just doing heavy rows for their biceps. The time under tension. Same volume, same load, and less or more time. That makes a difference. Body weight, same load or same reps at a change of body weight. I would get discouraged when I couldn't do any more reps on pull-ups, and then I don't know, it just never occurred to me. I'm a fucking moron. But, as I'm bulking up, if I'm doing the same reps when I'm weighing 280 pounds on pull-ups as I was when I was 220, I've gotten stronger. So another thing that you don't think about. And intensifying techniques is another way to increase and practice progressive overload. So things like drop sets, cluster sets, also known as rest pauses. People love to call them cluster sets now. They were rest pauses back in my day. Any of those intensifiers, forced reps would be a way of adding additional overload to the muscle. Anyway, I just wanted to get you guys thinking about progressive overload. Check out Dr. Brad Schoenfeld and Brett Contreras. Give both of them a follow on Instagram. Brad Schoenfeld, I would look up some videos on him. He is one of the sharpest dudes out there when it comes to research on progressive overload and muscle hypertrophy. I mean, a lot of his stuff, I think, is what has been used in Renaissance periodization in their techniques. So check him out. Really good stuff. Take care, guys.